What's going on? Welcome back to another video. So, Weiss Wars have revealed the SSPs and the trial deck SPs from the upcoming set Oshi no Ko, which is a Japanese set coming out in December. So let's take a look at the cards. Let's take a look at the SSPs and the signatures, the designs. Check these cards out. So this is the main booster box we are looking at here, and they have revealed all 6 SSPs from the main booster box. So up first, we've got the one, the only, we've got ISSP, and personally, this is a card I'm going to be chasing myself. Probably not chasing, I'll probably just buy it, I'll be honest. It's much easier. I mean, 6 SSPs in the booster box set, so we're going to assume it's going to have the typical pull rate of 1 SSP per case of 18 booster boxes. So given that there's 6, if you pick up a case and you're after one particular SSP, you've got a 1 in 6 chance of hitting that. So yeah, it might be easier just to potentially pick up. I mean, generally it's always cheaper to buy the cards that you want rather than trying to pull them yourself. You are relying on luck at that point. But yeah, I would definitely, even if I have to sell some cards and items in my collection, I will be picking up the SSP. Other people are looking for the Aqua and Ruby cards, and then obviously we've got 3 other characters down here which are getting SSPs. So it will be very interesting to see what prices do for these. We will come back to that in a second because there is something that we do need to consider about these cards. So that is the booster box. It does say that there are 6 SPs as well, so they haven't been revealed, but the SSPs have. So potentially at some point in the future, we will get some more reveals for those last 6. So back to, trial deck. We've got the trial deck and we've got the SPs revealed in the trial deck, and it is Aqua and Ruby. So let's just zoom back in. I actually really like these. And if I compare them to these ones, now these are SSPs, and generally SSPs have more design going on in terms of the background. I actually do really like these designs where you've got the character performing on stage and you've got the screen behind them that shows the character. I kind of like this effect. I think it's going to look really nice on cards. Obviously this one's a bit different and this one's a bit different. We've got a different backgrounds for these two, but actually when you look at these cards next to each other, although they are the SSPs, so they're harder to pull potentially, 1 per case of 18. You've got the gold foiling around them. They're supposed to be a higher rarity. I think if you're picking up both Aqua and Ruby, I think these cards here look really nice next to each other. They are the SPs, so they do sometimes get more of a generic reusable background, but I love the fact that they just join up, and having them side by side as they are in this picture looks really nice. Now, obviously these are from the trial decks, so generally speaking, if it is an SP in a trial deck, you'll be looking at 2 SPs per case of 48 trial decks. So if you potentially get a whole case of this, then hopefully you could expect to get both of these. That is just normally what Weiss Wars do. So obviously we're just basing that off of assumption. Same with the SPs, we're assuming it's 1 per case, which is the normal thing that they usually do. I know a lot of people were expecting the I card in this set to have its sort of own rarity, kind of like what Chainsaw Man did with the Chainsaw Man rares. So I guess in a way, for me, someone who wants to buy this card, it's probably nice that it's not that, because it would be potentially more expensive. Although with 6 SSPs, you've got a 1 in 6 chance, so maybe it doesn't make that much of a difference, because really your ratio for this exact card or any of them is 1 in 6 if you buy a case. So it's still going to be expensive. But moving on to this, so shout out to Gish and Shuffling in my Discord. We just discussed these cards and potentially what ones are going to be expensive. Now, if I had to guess before that conversation, I'm saying SSP is going to be the chase card, going to be the most expensive. I would expect then Ruby and Aqua to potentially be the next most expensive cards in this set, with the potential of the male character could actually end up quite cheap, because that is quite common in Weiss Wars. If you know, sometimes those male characters just don't do well. But obviously, I would expect Ruby to be very expensive. Now, after having a conversation with them, if you want to join the Discord, the link will be in the description. But as it seems, if you look on my anime list and look at the popularity and the favorites of the characters, you've got Ai with 6,000 favorites. So she is looking like the most popular, right? You have Aqua next with 4,000, 4,500. You've then got Ruby with 2,000. So kind of what we expect, right? But if you keep scrolling, you'll notice that we've got Kana here with 13,826. She actually has more favorites than Ruby, Aqua, and Ai combined, right? And there's a reason for that, which I was unaware of, but basically in the manga and what will be the second season, she becomes a very popular character. I don't know if it just focuses a lot more on her. I assume that's what's going to happen. But what we need to consider here is, you know, that is the case on my anime list. This is a Japanese set coming out in Japan, and it's going to be strange. I think this is actually really exciting. I really love sort of these kind of dynamics where you don't really know what's going to happen, and it makes it really fun to sort of watch and see what happens when it's released. At the end of the day, like, Yu-Te normally sets the prices for these cards, so are they going to take that into account? Like, this is, at the end of the day, this is a Japanese set for a Japanese market. If Kana here is the most popular character in Japan because of how the manga is progressing, then potentially what happens? Is Yu-Te going to price her higher, or are they going to price Ai as the chase card? I assume they would go with Ai. This is based off of season 1. Season 2 hasn't come out. And when it does, then potentially Kana will then be a more popular character. But it's a very unique dynamic, I think, and it'd be super interesting to see what happens. I guess I will make a video looking at prices maybe on release date or a week after release date to see what happens. Is it going to be Aqua? Maybe Ruby. It does become very popular as well when the set comes out. I mean, these top 3 here is where I would say most of the popularity would be until I got that curveball about Kana. So it would be really interesting to see who comes out on top. Like, obviously us overseas, but anyone that has watched the anime and not read the manga, you're going to probably favor Ai or the 2 siblings. That's just the way it is. But yeah, it'd be interesting because this, I don't know how much of an impact overseas really affects the prices in Japan. So yes, this will be a fun one to watch and see where the prices go. I do have this product available if you're in the UK or EU for pre-order on my site, cardcami.co.uk. So if you're looking to pick some up, boxes, trial decks, or cases, head on over and get that pre-order in before this sells out, because it's probably going to be a very popular set. I have seen some sites, some sort of Japanese sites, already sold out of the booster boxes for this information. These cards only got revealed a few hours ago as well. So yeah, check it out if you're interested. And as always, thanks for watching. Please hit like if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.